Hello, Braille 200 friends. I am Maria from Madrid, from Spain, and today I would like to share with you my experience in SightCity, the most important and main exhibition for blind technology, blind devices, for blind people, which was celebrated in Frankfurt, Germany, this year between 21st and 23rd May 2025. It was my first time in the SightCity. I always wanted to go there, but for my job and other things, I couldn't. And so this time was my first time there, and I would like to thanks a lot the Salamanca University in Spain, where I am doing a PhD about accessibility in dictionaries through Braille display and screen readers. And so I had the possibility, gave me the possibility to go there, and I thank a lot. I really like this experience. I like a lot. And first of all, I would like to talk about some disadvantages, some things that I would like could be getting better. And afterwards, I will talk about some things regarding Braille and Braille displays that I saw there. So it's a very big exhibition. There are 4 floors there, and so it's very big. And in my opinion, there are 2 or 3 disadvantages that I think are. It would be interesting if it could be changed a little bit. So the first is that I missed an app with all exhibitors and their contact details. When we arrive in the exhibition, you receive a paper in Braille with all details. All details not with all exhibitors and where they are located. And of course, this information theoretically is in the website as well. But the problem is that the days before the week or 2 weeks before the exhibition start, it was impossible to access to the website because it was, I suppose that a lot of people wanted to access, and so it was not possible. So really, you arrive there and you don't have any information. So you depend completely on this Braille sheet that you receive. And if you have in a hand the cane, in another hand, perhaps if someone guides you on something, it's not easy to stay there and to look every time the exhibitors and things. And I think if you could have an app in which there were the contact details of exhibitors as well, I think it would be really very useful and a very good thing. Another thing that I think that exhibitor should be organized for for devices, for kind of devices. For example, all Braille, all exhibitors which have Braille displays could be together in the same floor. All exhibitors who had, cooking things would be together, and in this way it would be easier to walk and to organize what do you want to see and these things, etc. And the third thing is, okay, I understand that this exhibition is addressed especially for companies. And because of this, they organized the exhibition during the week. But I think for people, for users, would be very good if it could be a little bit longer during the weekend as well. Because especially for people who live abroad and who comes from other countries, because a lot of people, because of their job, they would like to go there, to go to Frankfurt, but they can. I mean, not everyone could take 3 days, because especially if you live abroad, you need, of course, 3 days, and you need go and go back. And so, with plane, perhaps, or train or something. And so I think that it could be for users, it could be really very good. And for companies as well, because if more users can see the products, more users can buy them. So I think it would be good for both, for companies and for users as well, to make a little bit longer during the weekend as well, or at least during a weekend, Saturday, for example, but at least one day in the weekend. And so, what about my experience? My experience was really very good. As I said, it was the first time for me, and not the last time, I hope. And I really would like, and especially regarding Braille displays, I noticed clearly that now the innovation is in Asia and a little bit in America and Asia. So Europe, unfortunately, it's really behind, and it's a pity, because I remember, I don't know, 10 years ago, for example, German company were the best companies building Braille displays, for example. Now, I see that they are really, really behind. They didn't advance. They continued doing the same Braille displays. For example, they didn't add Braille transcriptor. They didn't add the possibility to transfer files with them directly, without transfer Word files and other format different to TXT. From Mac users, for example, they don't created the possibility to move and transfer files through an USB. They continued at the same point that they were 10 years ago. And the same thing happens with French companies. And I think that, and their Braille displays continue being very expensive. And there are in Asia, there are companies that have innovated, that sell Braille displays so cheaper and with really more functions. So I really think that Europe should think about, and European companies which build Braille displays should think about it. And the major surprise for me was Nippon Telesoft and Seika, because they did a very good device, very different than the previous one, and much better than the previous one. And I was really surprised, and I was surprised with Orbit as well. Orbit is becoming, in my opinion, a very good company, and with very, very good products. And I think another thing that I loved, it was the possibility to meet people for different companies, people that in my case I knew for making interviews, for my podcast and things, and I really loved to meet them by person, face to face, and I think it's really interesting. And another thing is that, unfortunately, I never listened to talk about, but I think it's very important. It's important in the level of European Union, is talking about custom fees and for Braille displays and for devices, special devices for blind people, because I think that, as I said, the innovation now comes from Asia and America, and so these devices, for example, Braille displays, are really special devices for blind people. And as you know, blind people is a very closed market, and I think that all together and in the field of the European Union, we should fight for eliminating custom fees, because otherwise the access to that kind of products of these products that are the best now is more difficult for final users. And I think it's really important when we talk about the price of Braille displays, materials, etc. I think the really important thing are these custom fees that they can increase. In fact, they increase the price a lot. So my experience in SightCity was wonderful. I hope to come back next year, perhaps. Why not? And I would like to share it with you today. Many thanks and see you soon.